Casio brings out new models every year, but in order to prevent the lineup from being too unwieldy, they also discontinue some models. The models that they discontinue are either slow sellers or use a technology that they're trying to move away from, such as electroluminescent backlights. They also produce models that seem to occupy the same space as others that I do wonder why they're both kept in production. The W59 is one of them, and on first impression it appears to be the same as the F-91. But are there any differences to the F-91, and if so, is it worth choosing it over the more popular model? Both the F-91 and the W-59 entered production in 1989. One of these, the F-91, went on to capture the public's attention and sells millions of units a year, while the other, the W-59, remains largely forgotten. Trying to make sense of Casio's model naming convention is like trying to make sense of a Jackson Pollock painting. The F-91 belongs to the F series, which as far as I can tell is the entry-level series which only offers basic water resistance in being splash-proof. The W-59 belongs to the W series of Casio watches, which are a step up from the F series in that they offer at least 50 meters of water resistance. If you were to believe Casio's measurements, the F-91 is the larger watch with a width of 35mm, and the W-59 has a width of 33.6mm. In reality though, the W-59 appears to be the larger watch with a bulkier appearance and a more masculine style. Now let's check out some wrist shots. In the technical aspects, the W59 has the same functionality as the F91. So it comes with a single daily alarm with an hourly time signal, a stopwatch with a maximum duration of 60 minutes, and a 12 or 24-hour display format. Also like the F91, it doesn't come with an auto calendar, so you will have to adjust the date on years with a leap day. For the LCD display, the digits are thicker and slightly shorter than the F91, and the contrast is slightly better, although you're not going to notice the difference unless you have the two watches side by side. You'll also notice that the date digits are closer together. That's because early versions of the W59 had a border around the date, but for some reason Casio changed this design during the 1990s, and now the border is no longer there. The materials used for the case and crystal are acrylic, and the texture of the case has more of a matte finish when compared to the F91. The push buttons are slightly larger and have a chamfered finish to the edges, which the F91 doesn't have. At the top and bottom of the case are the lugs to which the strap attaches. These are visible on the W59, whereas they're hidden on the F91. On the face, the crystal sits on a raised bevel, and the corners have more of a rounded appearance than the F91. The text and graphics used on the face of these two watches are similar, and it's going to be down to personal choice as to which one you prefer. I'm more drawn towards the aesthetics of the F91. How about you? The strap is made of resin, and there are enough adjustment holes to suit wrists of up to 7 inches in size. Although the watch is very comfortable to wear as it only weighs 22 grams, the strap material doesn't appear to me to be as soft as on the F91. The likely explanation for this is that I've had the F91 for longer, and perhaps it has gotten more supple with time. Over on the back is an embossed steel case back with horizontal brushings, and is held down by 4 screws. For the backlight, unfortunately there's no improvement over the F91, as you get the same green coloured micro light. Now let's take a look inside the case. The W59 uses a 590 module, whereas the F91 uses a 593 module. One of the disadvantages of the F91's module is that you need to take it out of the case in order to change the battery. I want to see if the W59 module has a gate over the battery which you can open without taking the module out. It looks as though it's the same case with the 590 module. You'll have to take it out of the case in order to change the battery. And incidentally, if you're wondering why the backlight is so bad, it's not because the module has a weak LED. It's actually because the plastic case of the module is covering the light, preventing it from shining onto the display. Overall, I think that the W59 is worth getting, provided that you don't overpay. It cost me €15.60, which is on par with the F-91. I wouldn't say that it's a better watch than the F-91, just different. With Casio releasing the F-91 in different varieties and colorways such as the new Minimalist series, it seems that they have all but forgotten about the W59. Therefore, I wouldn't be surprised if it was discontinued sometime in the future.